Hi everybody, how you doing? Okay, so welcome. So today we're gonna talk about the thing that's happening, the whole uh Dubai potta party. And honestly, this has been happening for years. This has been happening for a very long time. But it was recently trending again, because some people had no idea that this is happening, and I'm like, how do you not know that this is happening? Like, you know what I mean? Like this Dubai is known, well, not just Dubai, but Saudi Arabia, all those places are known for the trafficking that they do, for the princes there that, use their money to, I guess, exploit people. But the weird aspect of this is that this exploitation is allowed, like, there's actually consent towards this. So how bad are we supposed to feel for these men and women that are stuck in these situations? Like recently, there's been some cases of some men and women who've been suffering from this coming out saying that they're victims, coming out saying that they didn't know any better, that they feel sorry, and that there should be legal action taken against, the government and the royal family for allowing this to happen in their country. And I'm just like, how do you agree to this? You're okay with it because they say they're going to pay you $20,000, they're going to pay you $40,000. And then when things go wrong, or years later, when you think about it, then you want to put the blame on somebody else, but nobody forced you to be in this position. So that's why I guess I'm more cold when it comes to the situation. Like, I don't really feel bad for the victims. In fact, they're not victims, they're willing participants. Who I would qualify as a victim is somebody who's actually trafficked against their will, somebody who's actually smuggled, has no idea what they're signing up for, does not know when they're going back home. But that's who I would classify as a victim, not somebody who willingly signed up to be defecated on, have trains run on them, and now all of a sudden, years after, they want to act like those people are so evil and so racist. Before I go any further, I'm just gonna actually play a clip. Actually, no, before I do that, I wanted to also give an update. Maya is in South Africa. Maya is in Johannesburg. So everybody, especially the South Africans that had an issue with Maya, I think you guys should watch his vlogs and see what he says about South Africa. And yeah, just give him a chance. I think you guys will really like what's going on with that channel. So yeah, let me go ahead and oh, and I did want to apologize. I was supposed to make this video yesterday, but actually no, I wasn't supposed to make this video yesterday. I was supposed to make it today. I thought I scheduled it for today, but I actually scheduled it for yesterday and I had no idea. So my bad on that. Like, in fact, I didn't know that I scheduled it the wrong day until 10 o'clock last night when someone actually told me, hey, you had a video for today. And I was like, no, I didn't. That was for today. That was for tomorrow. Anyways, so sorry about that. But yeah, I'm here now. And I'm going to go ahead and start with the first video. If anyone is in here, uh, just say hi. Just say hi because I would like a discourse on this. So let me go ahead and play the first clip. Fair use, fair use. Oh, and let me know if you guys can hear this.
To potty, a pretty trending topic across social media platforms of defecating on their faces.
Hi. This past weekend, many people woke up to an unusual topic trending on Twitter. Those brave enough to click on the various links to Dubai Porta Potty videos instantly regretted their decision, but the topic was trending everywhere. And in case you haven't heard about this trending topic, without going into much detail, the disgusting viral trend refers to a phenomenon where female influencers and Instagram models receive messages, what they call the DM, from wealthy men in Dubai who want to pay them thousands of dollars to, among other things, defecate on their faces. Although the video
Yeah, so when people go like, "Oh, this is just regular prostitution," like it's actually not. Like I don't approve of prostitution, but I get it. Like people do it. Do you, do you. If you're gonna do it right. Make sure you're an escort, make sure you have an actual agency behind you. Make sure that if something happens, like, and you get in trouble, like, you can legally get help. If that's the route that you want to go to in your life, at least do it properly, right? The big issue I have with this is not only is it extremely disgusting because they're not only def- having men defecate and urinate on them, they're sleeping with animals, they're sleeping with camels, dogs, snakes. It's like, whoa, bro, how bad do you need those thousands? Like, how bad? It's disgusting. And this is even the worst part of it all. They're doing all of this in a different country, right? They're doing this in a Gulf Arab country. What legal rights do you have when you go over there? You know, okay, I'll say I personally have not heard too many stories of these women passing away when doing these things, but it's happened before. I know it's happened before. It's probably just been covered up. So it's like, how do these women even know how safe they are when they're doing this? Like, are you gonna trust a random person you meet on Tinder to like be a good person? No. But you're gonna trust a Dubai prince to stick by his word and just do that and not do anything? And what if you get there and you refuse? Like, how do you know that these people are not going to be crazy enough to actually end your life? You know? Yeah.
videos, which have now been removed from social media, haven't been verified, didn't go unnoticed, and they attracted the attention of a rich man from Dubai who is also famous on TikTok to come forward and express his misgivings. And this is what he had to say.
Dubai Porta Potty, a pretty trending topic across social media platforms. Supposedly, Instagram models and other female influencers are receiving messages from wealthy Arab men, offering them up to $1 million for the opportunity of defecating on their faces. What shocks me the most is the people of Dubai are not keeping up with these trending videos and they never heard of such a thing. One female influencer said this: "All rich men in Dubai fly girls out to do this. They are disgusting. All of them have the same fetish. I am from Dubai and I classify myself as a financially built man in Dubai. I can afford flying out Instagram models here on first class. And I can assure you that this fetish is not a very common one among us Arab men. I, for one, do not enjoy."
Okay. I know this guy's trying to save face. This guy's trying to show face. It's not very common. My dear, it's common enough. Okay. I haven't heard of, no offense, um, Dubai guy. I've never really heard of other ethnicities doing this as widely and as publicly as you guys are doing this. So I understand you saying, "Oh, we're not all like that." Yeah, I know, but this is still happening, and you guys are quiet about it. Interesting. Now, like I said, I'm not really that angry at them because they're allowing these women to do these things, and these women are agreeing to do it. So some people ask me like, is this an element of racism? Not necessarily, because they do this to women of all ethnicities. So I wouldn't say it's an element of racism. I don't know what it is. Insanity, boredom. You have too much money. Um, I tried to look into it, but I really couldn't because this topic is actually kind of disgusting. Like it actually makes my head hurt. So I wanted to look into it and actually see, do these men do these things to Arab women? Like, do they actually do it to Arab women too? or do they get off of knowing that they could do it to foreigners and foreigners like have no rights? They can't speak back. Like they're in it for the money. Like I was just wondering, do these same men do this thing to their own women? I wasn't able to get that answer, but if anybody knows, that would be great.
Defecating on other people's faces. This ain't something a normal human being, rather a whole nation craves on. You do understand that by making these statements, you are racist. You are generalizing every Arab man in Dubai. Speaking of men in Dubai, I personally know the richest families in Dubai, and I've never heard of such an event. For all that you know, all of you could have been lied to.
Rewind the tape. Rewind the tape. Did this guy just say that people judging Arab men are racist? Like, bro, ain't nobody racist when they're just coming out and exposing the things that your Dubai princes and the wealthy elites do. Like, that's not racist. That's just journalism. You know what I mean? I really liked this guy, but after he said that, it's just like, how can you be so arrogant? You know what I mean? But shout out to everybody who's here. Let me just quickly say hi to you guys before I continue with the topic. I'm Katie. Sorry I was late, but thanks for seeing me. Thanks Kim Afro. Hi King of Dust. How are you? Hi Winston. Hi Abby. Oh, well, I'm not going to redefine the meaning of prostitution. Yeah, this is definitely prostitution, and but I just don't think. See, I had this question I wanted to ask somebody. Do you think that these women would be willing to do these type of activities with males in their own country? Do you think it's just all about the money and it just doesn't matter? Because it's just very confusing to me. Like I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say that you know getting 40K, getting 50K one weekend is not tempting. Of course it is, but I mean, I got morals. Okay. Um, yeah, I was brought to this world knowing that you need to work hard for what you get. Um, I was brought in this world knowing that you have to do things the legal and moral way, and it's gonna pay off in the long run, even if you're broke and you can't afford the Gucci, you can't afford the BMW, you can't afford the really nice house, so long as you're honest, yeah, some people are gonna call you a loser, but if you don't owe anyone any money, you didn't kill anyone to get money, you could sleep good at night knowing that you're a sane, proper citizen. So that benefit is something that I'll never take advantage of. But yeah, like I just and when these women, want to come out now and cry wolf and act like they're the victim, I'm like, I don't feel bad for you. Like you're even lucky that you came out alive. You're actually lucky. The way that these guys are crazy and so sadistic, you're lucky that you got out of that country alive. So you should just be quiet. Just be thankful, okay? But yeah, the part that it really annoys me about a lot of these women is some of them are Instagram models and they'll come. Well, I'm saying women, I know men do it too, but obviously the face of this is women, right? So these are the same women that will come online, they'll make fun of other women and other men for not having a lot of money. They'll call other people low value, dusties. You guys, you guys don't work hard enough, but it's like, neither do you. I mean, all you did was lay on your back, had some golden showers, you know, saw maybe 20, 30 dudes in one weekend. Like, girl, please stop being so arrogant, okay? You did all of that for your hair, for your nails, for your bag, all of that. But where's your man though? They're just anyway. So anyways, yeah, let me continue. Yeah, the dog, Whew. These Arab men, do you think it's only Arab men that do it? I have a feeling that other men do it too, but just not to the level of Arab men. Because apparently these fetishes are real and they're very hard to satisfy, apparently, okay? I don't know, but that's what they're saying. Hey Mo Solomon. Yeah, I mean, see, I would have thought that Muzungu would be the first one to do this. I would have thought that Obronis would be the ones to actually do this. I'm very shocked that it's mostly Arabs. I'm extremely shocked about that. I guess, you know, that whole Arab money thing, it's a true thing. Thanks, Kaizoria. Appreciate the donation. They do this most to Eastern European and Latina women. Let's move on. It's not Africa's problem. Yeah, I'm not making it Africa's problem. I'm just speaking on it in terms of women, period. Um, yeah. I'm just speaking on it in terms of women and how I'm disappointed that women are doing this. Hi Crenshaw, hi Yoel. Let me just continue the video real quick.
I dug up the whole thing and I saw videos. Nothing proved to me that this was an Arab man. And for the Instagram model that's ranting about her story with the rich Arab man from Dubai, sweetheart, why are you complaining? Last time I checked, you named your price and you did it with full consent. You're the one that's actually disgusting.
So, in other words, even the rich men in Dubai were shocked at the potta potty videos. Maybe the video was a phony. Maybe it's not true.
Oh, again, I do, and I don't want people to think I'm woman bashing. I'm really not. But I do have to agree with what that Arab guy said in the end. Like, nobody's forcing you to go over there and do this. Like, a lot of these women get non-disclosure agreements, meaning they actually have to sign deals prior to them arriving. So it's like you know what you're signing up for, and that's why you can't sue these people. That's why you can't take them to jail. That's why you can't do anything about it because they already made you sign either a verbal agreement or a written agreement that this is what you agreed to and this is the price that we're going to pay you and you're okay with that. All right. So yeah, it's women of all types of ethnicities, really. It's not mostly black women. So again, not making this a black or African woman thing. It's just a women thing, I guess. And an Instagram. This this generation is very very vulnerable to these type of things. Anyway, top social media influencers are being propositioned daily by strangers with offers of thousands of pounds in return for that. The Victoria Derbyshire program has been told once said social media has become a catalog for men to select their next conquest. It's high-end prostitution. It's just scary to think that they've messaged me. They probably sent it to thousands of pretty girls on Instagram. She says when she was only nine, oh, she says she was only 19 when she was first propositioned with an offer of 20,000 pounds for dinner and drink. But after starring in a series of two Love Island, an agency emailed offering her 50,000 pounds for 5 nights in Dubai. It contained a non-disclosure agreement stating that the details of what she would be required to do um, would remain confidential. She refused the offer, but fears that struggling influencers who do not receive luxury items for free would feel pressure to keep up appearances. Now, it's like, to me, it's just it's just so comical how um Instagram influencers are here talking about, oh, the pressure to keep up, oh, the pressure to do this is driving me to do this, and I'm just like, y'all are just Jezebels. Like, you guys are just nasty Jezebels. And hey, listen, I know that, vengeance is not mine. They can turn around and they can change, whatever. But I just get annoyed how some of them are just being so vocal about this and how they're trying to paint themselves as the victim. That's what makes me so just upset. Because it's like, what's the victimization in this when you agree to it? I don't get it. Hi, Sarah. Stop. Money and I'm even reading that comment. Money and power, the money brings, they want to be seen as hustlers. Yeah, what is with this whole mentality of a lot of young people today that you just gotta have money right now? Um, how old is Jeff Bezos? Isn't he in his 40s? Elon Musk, I think, is in his 40s. A lot of these men that are even just really successful or whatever, they've been working um, in their crafts for decades before even reaching the amount of success that they have today. So, what is it with young people that you have to have the Mercedes Benz right now? Like, you have to have the Gucci now. You have to have the Prada now. Like, you have to have the bad bitch now. You have to have like the biggest ass now. Like, you have to have the biggest bag now. Like, you have to. It's like, what is with this you have to do everything now type of mentality? Like, I don't understand it. It's really crazy. Like, and I don't know if I don't think it's always been this way. I really don't. I think that social media has propelled a lot of people's anxiety and a lot of people's like reality. Like, it's warped a lot of people's reality of goals, real life goals, and real life expectations. So that definitely has something to do with it because what these Instagram models or what these Instagram kings show you on Instagram, even in YouTube, guys. Like, I know you guys see these ads of, and you guys see these ads of like of these gurus, like these fake gurus coming online saying, "Hey, I sell on Amazon and I make $20,000 a day. You can do it too." It's like everyone is selling a course, everyone is selling this, everyone is selling a fake dream, but nobody really wants to like put in the work into being great, into being talented anymore. Everybody wants a shortcut. Everybody wants to be famous right now. Yeah, it's just really, really it's just really, really interesting. Like, I get it, yeah, you can get monetized doing almost anything nowadays. So to me, it's like, what's the point in even going to Dubai to get 20 racks in one night when you could honestly find a way to do that online? It might take you some years, but you can find a way to do that effectively instead of going to Dubai. But yeah, these people just want it all right now. Some women would do that in their own countries, and they're probably doing it in their own countries once the price is right. No amount of money can get me to do that, though. I have too much pride for it. Yeah, I've never thought about doing anything like that. I remember a couple of years ago, I heard stories of young women that would go to hotels and get thousands of dollars in one night. But it's like, yeah, to me, I don't know. It's just, of course, it's much more simple to not have morals and to sell your soul, so to speak, to get thousands of dollars really quick. But I mean, traveling the road, um, walking through the road that's less passed by to me is just more satisfying as a human being. I agree with, what the Guinean said last time. Like, I would literally rather be not, because I'm not poor, okay? But I would rather be okay and content than to be really rich and not happy and have like demons and skeletons in my closet. So, yeah. And I don't think a lot of young people also understand the implications of what they're doing because some of these women are like when they're doing these things, they're being recorded. So how do you know that this is not gonna come back and bite you? You know, like you guys remember recently Kim Kardashian was upset because uh her son was playing Roblox and there was a meme of what she did with Ray J that came up in the show. And now it's like 17 years later, she's acting all brand new. Like, I can't believe they're using this to tarnish my identity. But it's like you willingly signed up to do that tape and you sold it with your mom's permission. So why is it now you want to cry wolf? Like, now that your kids are clowning you because they know what you did for a past, now it's a problem. But when you were in your late 20s, it was all about getting the fame. But now that you have the fame and you want to rebrand yourself to be taken more seriously, and people come back and say, no, we know how you got famous. We don't really care about you. Then she wants to get all offended. Like, yeah. These Arabs degrade these women where there is money, best believe there's gold diggers. Uh, well, from what I heard, right, in a lot of the societies, their women are closed off. So a lot of the fantasies that obviously they do with these models, they can't do it with their own women because of cultural implications. So yeah, I mean, obviously they degrade their own women. I'm not gonna say the Arabs don't degrade Arabic women, they do, but they definitely have less respect for foreigners, regardless of their race or ethnicity. So it kind of makes sense why they decide to go the extra mile with these people. The Gulf has a culture of not working hard and using others for labor. Yeah, exactly. And it shows the complete contrast because, okay, likewise, right? There are people who actually go to Dubai looking for work. And I don't know if you guys heard, but I think this was around the beginning of the pandemic. There were quite a few people who were stuck in the desert. They were stuck in the desert of Saudi Arabia and Dubai because basically there wasn't enough work, so they were trying to kick them out. So to me, it's just really it's just really funny um how there are actual honest people who are over there suffering. But in the same element, you have these type of people uh that are doing these type of things. So let me go ahead and play another small clip. Remember to like the video. Thank you.
If you came here after searching for the potta potty Dubai meaning, then you've come to the right channel.
Hi, my name is Aliana Lozana Gonzalez, and I'm 20 years old, 26 years old. I'm willing to come to Dubai to Sultan Ali. In Dubai, I will have a STD check, and I will let him lick my pussy and fuck me Anna. Um,
The first time I heard the phrase potta potty Dubai was last week on TikTok. Apparently, it has been around for a few years now, going as far back as 2016. And more Instagram influencers come forward every now and then with their own confessions and encounters of the luxury parties in Dubai. And some of these encounters are bizarre. Trust me. Many young people might believe that Instagram models and influencers are living the life of their dream with the money from their alleged sponsorship deals and brand endorsements. But some influencers share a completely different story with their followers about how they earned their money. Now, let's find out the meaning of potty Dubai. Am I even pronouncing the phrase right? Potty Dubai has been trending on the internet for some years now, as I said earlier. However, many people seem to find difficulty in grasping the actual idea behind potty Dubai. In simple terms, it is allegedly a party where rich Arab men and sometimes white men take Instagram models and influencers for sexual parties in lavish and luxurious settings for a ridiculous pay. These rich men often take the ladies in their luxurious yachts or yachts or hotels and have unconventional intercourse. The bizarreness of the encounters ranges from pouring semen over the faces of the ladies by multiple men and not allowing them to wipe off this semen to pooping all over the girls. I think this is the part that got most people interested in this topic on TikTok. If you haven't watched the gross video, I'll put the link in the description below. Now, here comes one of the confessions from a Nigerian lady who says that she has participated in potty Dubai several times. These guys are super rich. They hate their wives and bored with life. They are willing to pay anything for their crazy sex fetishes, and I was crazy enough to accept the money. I've had to be gang-banged by over 20 Saudi royalties.
Oh my goodness. Oh my, that is so disgusting. Whoa. I can't believe that's disgusting. Oh my goodness. Whoa. That's serious, man. But 40K for 20 men, that doesn't seem like such a good deal, to be honest. But anyway.
At once, and that time I made $40,000 in 2 days, so it was worth it. I've literally been pissed on and cheated on so many times. I just don't understand why they like it. Another confession is the one that has gone viral on Twitter and TikTok about a lady that was taken on a 200-foot yacht and paid $40,000. She confessed she was taken in a 200-foot yacht for 2 days. During her first day, the men poured cum all over her face and did not let her wipe it. Later, the men peed and cleaned her face. However, the second day, it turned out more bizarre. On the second day, a man came to her and they had a physical relationship first, and then he poured cum all over her face. And when she thought he was finished, he squatted over her chest and dropped his fecal matter.
Okay, okay, I need to yeah. Let me just fast forward. This is actually too disgusting. Okay, anyways. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's it. Like I can't even listen to this anymore. Whew, that is gross. But I want to give a shout out to Brianna. Thank you, appreciate it, appreciate it. Again, this is not bringing awareness. I don't know what the point of this stream is, but yeah, I just wanted to talk about it. I guess the point of this stream was to say that I don't really feel all that bad for them. They did what they did, and they have to live with their consequences. And my only thing is, I wish some of them would just be quiet on social media and stop acting like they're better than everyone else. That's just my only thing. But other than that, they're lucky that they're alive, in my opinion. So whatever. Um, let me see what that is saying. Yeah, money is attractive. Money is very attractive, but girl, please. Um, yeah, me neither. let's not kink shame. You're disgusting, you're a boy. Yeah, no one needs to know what you do in your bedroom. Arabs wouldn't do this to their women. They get shit. Oh, yes, Ajiran, you have a good point. Yeah, that's another reason why they wouldn't go so far to do this to their own women is because they'd have to be held accountable to their family, maybe to even the court system or the police system. So, you know that girl in the video who was like, "Oh, I slept with 20 men to get like, well, over 40 men to get, no, sorry, over 20 men to get 40K." I'm like, technically that's even a robbery. Like even if we were to use better metrics, you should have at least got, in my opinion, like at least 500, 500,000 for all of that work. Anyway, but yeah, I did ask the question. I don't think I got an answer yet. Like, do you guys think that this has something to do with racism, or do you think that's a reach? Because there have been some posts where some women have been coming out and saying that, oh, this is an element of racism and that the international community needs to get involved. And I'm like, yeah, you really think the international community is gonna go after these oil tycoons because of you? Like, that's not happening. But okay. Oh, and to the moderators over here, please don't take advantage of your mod status. Okay, do not block somebody without telling them why they're being blocked. If you're gonna block somebody, give them a warning. Let us know why you're blocking them. Don't just block them and we have no idea why you're doing that because there's free speech in here. You know, there's some things that I don't like to hear, but so long as it's not super vicious, just let them say it. Just let them say it. These guys have an issue with doing manual labor as it's shameful. Oh, it's shameful in Arab culture to do manual labor. That makes sense. That's why they have all those Indians, Bangladeshi, those Asians up in there working. We have to work hard and smart. We have a cultural advantage over them in that respect. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we definitely do. Hi, DEI. He's not wrong though. If the woman is willing participant, then who are we to judge? Yeah, I'm still judging. This is too disgusting, and we should judge and do away with absolute cultural relativism. So, question: what would you do in an instance where someone went to that part of the world and did that and came back, right? And now is asking you to advocate on behalf of them? Do you now say, oh, well, you made your bed and you should lie in it? Or would you actually take an active role into actually helping this woman or helping others who are in this position? Like, what would you actually do? I just want to know your opinion on that. Only giving money to a charity? Yeah, two capable adults came to an agreement and no one was forced. Maybe the ones that are complaining are the ones who got their monies huffed at the airports by custom and basically went through all the. Yes, thank you for reminding me, Sour Stuff. Yes, I forgot. I completely forgot about that. You're right. Some of them, when they do try to come back at the airport, because you can't come to a country with like thousands of dollars of cash on you and not declare it. So there have been instances where they do try to come back and then the border security is asking them, well, how did you get this money? And they don't want to admit how they got the money. So the money just gets confiscated. And yeah, sometimes they even end up, serving a fine or getting in serious trouble because of this. Not many of them, but it has happened a couple of times. So, yeah. The hush puppy effect. These Instagram models, I don't want to work, so I'm selling myself and my dignity for money. But the thing is, it's like, see, and this is the part that sometimes men really confuse me, like men in general, not just the ones that do this, but the ones that also don't do this. It's like, I don't get it. Like, you guys will shame these women for being quote unquote harlots, prostitutes, or whatever, but you guys are funding them. I'm just like, I don't get it. Like, why are you guys funding these people? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. You guys follow these people on Instagram. You guys make them famous. You guys make them relevant. I just, I'm just very confused by that. Um, I think hustle culture also plays a part. They shame people who live modest lifestyles. Yeah, exactly. That's very, very true. I've never heard of that. I have no desire to visit Dubai. Me neither. Like, okay, I get it. Dubai is highly developed. It has like a whole bunch of, high-rise buildings or whatever. But eh, the spirit of that nation is just something that I would really like to stay away from. And I've even heard of instances of certain people going to Dubai and they're legitimately going there for business, but they've been propositioned. So they'll be on the street, they'll be in the hotel, like doing their actual business dealings, and then they'll be like random princes coming to them, asking them, "Hey, are you interested in doing this or doing that?" I'm just like, nope, I don't want to do it. I do not ever want to deal with such an awkward experience like that. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. This is how some guys propel their music careers. Fun fact. It, it is what it is. We can't stop it, and it's not gonna stop. So imagine being the 20th dude in that train. Battery things, straight battery things. Disgusting. Yeah, they do it to camels. 40K. I mean, okay, guys, let's just be subjective here. Even though, I none of us would ever do anything like this. Don't you guys still think that they're selling themselves too short? Because at the end of the day, like 40K is not that much money. Like, it's not, I mean, 40K is not going to change your life. If you get 40K, you're still going to have to work. But you're still going to have, that's not even enough to be doing all of this. I'm just saying, like, I'm not, yeah. I mean, you're going to sell yourself for that low? Seriously? Wow. And it's not majority of them that are even getting 40K. They said that the average is 20K. I'm just like, 20K, really? The amount of a car for all of them? Are you serious? Wow. This has to be fake. It's not fake. It's been happening for years. Oh, and hi, Mrs. H. Hi, Rude Boy. Hi, Black Man Heart. Hi, Pintai. Hey, Juju. Long time no see. Oh my goodness. Can you really not? I hope they did not have to let the girl be scared of. Hey, don't some of you guys feel these are your future wives that you guys are gonna marry. These are your future wives out here. What are you guys talking about? What are you guys talking about? Please make sure you do a background check and make sure that she has never gone to Dubai before because yeah. We need the UN to get involved. Yeah, no, we don't. Um No racism here, just laziness. At least the ladies are getting paid. Nastiness, but at least the ladies are getting. All right, let me play one last clip before I open the panel. I literally said what I had to say about this. I don't really have much to say about this. It's disgusting, and I know it's not gonna stop. So it is what it is. But I don't know. I just I could be mistaken, but I don't remember this being such a big like epidemic like it was a couple of years ago. I don't know. I just don't remember this being that widely um accessible. But
TikTok is no stranger to a weird trend, from the art of the zoo to the chainsaw revelations. And now it's back with an absolute stinker. Several people have been shocked within the last few days with an unusual topic trending on several social media platforms, especially on Twitter. Those who were brave enough to click on the many links to Dubai Porta Potty immediately regretted their decision. The disgusting viral trend refers to as Dubai Porta Potty is a phenomenon where the female social media influencer and Instagram models get messages from wealthy men in Dubai who are ready to pay up to $1 million for the opportunity of defecating on their faces. Whilst the many of the circulating videos have now been taken down from social media, the phenomenon has prompted a Dubai native to come forward and express his misgivings about the explicit content. In the TikTok post, Ibrahim Khan stated that all rich men in Dubai fly girls out to do this.
Influencer said this. All rich
Dominion, a site that documents the painful, slow downfall of Western society. In his latest blog, talked about Dubai porta potties and observed that the trend not only disclosed the depravity of society, but also how far these so-called slay queens would go to fulfill oddly sexual fetishes for rich tycoons in exchange for money.
Being unprotected, and I will let Mr. Ali lick the humus of my feet. I will also his virgin brother, who is 13 years old, we to have with his virgin 13 years old brother. Mr. Ali is paying me 50,000 US dollars for this. Receive.
whoa, did she say that she just consented to sleeping with a 13-year-old child? No words, man. No words. No words.
25,000 US dollars 2 weeks before I come to Dubai.
The way how they earn their money is a bit disturbing. One of the most popular Instagram models shared the same story and was ridiculed by some because they all spoke the truth and were proud of their actions. The truth was that all the models who are imported into Dubai and other Arab states are taken to cruises or in a barren region, and then they are forced to take a seat on a toilet. They are believed to be naked, and males in groups are allowed to come to pee on females or girls. They engage in activities that sound disgusting and even disturbing to an average human to perform. Models are required to please the men, and they are paid a large amount. According to many media sources, some famous African social media slay queens have been exposed for traveling to Dubai for an alleged business deal which involves the porta potty phenomena. Some are also allegedly been made to sleep with dogs and do a whole lot of unpleasant things to satisfy their paymasters. Apparently, that secret deal has been the nightmare of so many greedy African girls who, for the love of money, had found themselves culprits of such a degrading act. Meanwhile, some Instagram models who
Okay, so most of the videos I played were from African sources, so that's why he's talking about just generally African women, but it's really not a lot of African women that are doing this. But in any case, it's some, I guess, that are doing this.
who were contacted by recruiters and refused the offer are coming out with shocking revelations.
Guys, I'm exposing how they first approached you for the Dubai porta potty. I always knew that it was something that was real because I heard rumors about it, but I never thought that it would happen to me, literally. I got this DM from some weird person messaging me about a party that's happening in Dubai. I wanted to play along and see where this was going because I was thinking there's no way you are paying me to come to you and paying me just to enjoy shit my ass my y'all. But yeah, so let me show you guys the slide. You guys can pause and read the rest.
If you enjoyed this video and know stories about the Dubai,
you guys can pause and pay me just to play along and see where this was going because I was thinking there's no way you are paying me to come to you and paying me just to enjoy shit my ass my y'all. But yeah, so let me show you guys the slide.
Okay, so the message reads, I wanted to let you know that you are invited to our Dubai yacht party. Our crown prince, Amdan bin Mohammed Al Maktoum, they have too many princes, is throwing a party to celebrate our recent country economic victories. The party will be held, that's very generic. The party will be held on May 12th on the Dubai Royal Yacht. We're inviting you because our prince loves to, and I don't think she showed the rest of the thing, but anyway, interesting. So we have Mo Solomon up here. Thanks for joining.
Thank you for having me, Africa Millennial. It's been a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, the context of this video that you showed is let's say a bit graphic to an extent, but again, it showed us a broad view of what's really going on with this potty, whatever it's called, whatever the term that's used, is about basically, and it's vile, it's disgusting. These women have no shame, if I may say. They have no shame whatsoever. They will do anything for money, anything and everything. I mean, how would you allow a fat 50-year-old Arab man to defecate on your face and you could still be all right with that? Like, I will not understand. And then there was another video where you said there was 20 of them. So now you have 20 men lined up defecating on your face. That woman who outed herself out, who actually did that for money, has to be somewhere around, I don't know what type of intelligence that woman possesses. I can't comprehend what kind of mindset you would have to regrade yourself for 40,000. Like,
yeah, and
there's no words.
It was surprising to me because I'm not excusing the women like that come from the continent that do it, but I can kind of understand because that's literally like $1 million for a lot of them. But for the ones in the West, like $40,000 is not a lot of money. So I'm not really understanding.
So African Millennial, I'll tell you what's going on, right? These women can't be asked to work. They can't be asked to graft. They cannot be asked to keep a 9 to 5. They cannot be asked to earn their way of their own living, their own standard of living. So what they do is they go around and they do all of these little things like OnlyFans and all of these other bullshit things that they do on the side where they degrade themselves, to an extent where basically their body costs them $10.99, wherever the price is. Like, it's ridiculous. These women have no shame or self-esteem. They would do, as I said, anything and everything for money. They can't be asked to apply for a job and to keep a job. They can't be asked to work a 9 to 5. So though we do,
you raise a good point. There are a lot of women nowadays that it's like, work, why? Why would I do that when there are men that are willing to pay me to do stuff, or men that are willing to pay my bills? Like, why should I go out and work? You're right about that.
That is disgusting. That is absolutely vile. And you posed a good question earlier where you said, these are your future wives. I almost choked on my coffee There is no way on hell, like on God's green earth, that like I would even come close next to these chicks that would do this type. I mean, the moment you see Instagram model on her bio, avoid like a hazard. You don't know what kind of disgraceful acts that she could have been up to.
So
God knows.
You would never wife up an Instagram model?
Absolutely not. Instagram model
Are
just
you
means
serious?
yeah, absolutely. I'm not going for an Instagram model. Instagram model just equals to I can't be asked to get a job, so I do disgraceful shit on the side to earn a living. Basically, most of these Instagram models have 60-year-old men waiting for them in a hotel. It's disgraceful. It's absolutely disgraceful. They do this all for a handbag that costs 10 grand so they could show their friends. What? To feel good about yourself. So you feel good about yourself when you have 10 grand worth of a bag so you carry around so other people can stare at you. I don't understand the psychology of these people. So what? A pair of high heels and a bag is worth is worth basically your dignity.
I mean, do you know how expensive these high heels are?
Exactly my point. They're doing this all for high heels, fake eyelashes, nails, and a fucking handbag. You're having a 50-year-old greasy fat Arab man defecate on your face for that. On their plane ride, do they not comprehend what's going to happen? Do they think that they're just gonna go to a party, they're gonna enjoy themselves and come? No. These Arab men have other things in plans. Why would they just let it off that easy?
Crenshaw Grinder is saying we are weak when it comes to beautiful women.
No, he's weak. He's weak. Not we. He's weak. He's weak. Please, Crenshaw Grinder, that's you, mate, not me. You know what I mean? There's different. You know what I mean? There's different mentalities for different men. We don't all think the same. And thank God for that. But again, it's actually disgraceful. Like, think about it. Think about it, African millennial. Some women, like that that I've seen on certain platforms, boast about having OnlyFans.
Yeah. True.
I mean, you're basically, in other terms, you're basically the same price as a Netflix subscription for a month. Imagine that. Wow, that's all I gotta say about these chicks with very I say these chicks have daddy issues. They have daddy issues, so they do this in a way to, again, I think, get back at their dads or something. I don't know, but their psychology is cooked. That's what I gotta say. If they're doing this for,
most of them have to have daddy issues because it doesn't make sense. It just
of course. I mean, Miss H, like you said earlier in the comment section, she said again, she goes, Mo, you're waffling now. How am I waffling? Miss H, if you're taking this personal, you can come on and, defend what I'm saying. But
Mo,
I mean,
there's a high chance
African millennial, you agree to an extent of what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
If I may ask, yeah, you agree, right?
Yeah.
They can't be asked to work, so they do this disgusting, absolute bullshit to basically earn a living. I hope they can sleep well and actually function well, knowing how they earn their money. But yeah, go ahead, Abby, brother.
Yeah, I was saying this is why this behavior continues, because people like Miss H still excuse it, because it's branded under the umbrella of like women empowerment and so on.
This is woman empowerment. A 50-year-old fat Arab man defecating in your face. That's women empowerment. I'd hate to see women upliftment then.
Haven't you seen the hashtags they have where they say sex work is real work and stuff like that? What do you think that means? It means just doing this stuff.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to, it's I'm lost for words, Abby.
Let's just ask, why is Miss H defending this stuff, man? Is there a slight chance?
Miss H, did he take personal to what I said? Because again, African millennial who's also a woman.
Personally, is because they might be involved in it too.
Maybe, we don't know, but African millennial who's also a woman agrees with what I've said. I've not offended anybody. I've just said what needs to be said. An African millennial agrees with what I've said. So I don't know why Miss H is taking this very personally. That's what I'm trying to
Most you
comprehend.
do with them bang and toss. No, someone in the comments section was saying people already do this for far less. So what's the big deal?
Shocking.
Where do they do it for? Wait, this is regular then?
No, I don't see. I don't know. Okay, I don't know what people do. Okay, I don't know.
I mean, I've seen women defend other women
I know
because
people do trains. Like that's very
wow.
very popular for women to sleep with multiple men, like in a line. That's a very popular thing. Yeah, like I know about that. But
Sorry, I gotta interrupt. Miss H said I talk too much. Do you not understand? There's the whole point of African Millennial putting a link is for me to talk. So how am I talking too much if I'm supposed to talk?
Bro, Miss H,
Do you
Miss
not,
H is
do you
a
not
set
understand
eight
where
kid,
this
man.
ideology clashes?
Mo. You know
Yeah.
what? I think you're in Britain, so you know what a set eight kid is, right?
What do you say, brother?
You know what a set eight kid is, right? Like kids that they put in a special class.
I think I get what
That's
you're
Miss
trying to
H, man.
refer to.
Yeah, that's Miss H, bro. Don't mind her.
I mean, yeah, the whole point of this for African Millennial put the link in here is for me to talk. So I don't know how I'm talking too much if I'm supposed to talk. Am I not supposed to talk, Miss H? I don't understand. Yeah, bro. Abby, what do you think of this? Express yourself, brother.
Yeah, I just want to ask, is it really just only Arab men doing it, or are just men from other places that happen to be rich also using Dubai as like a sex hub?
yeah, it's not only Arab men that are doing it. Apparently, after Arab men, Europeans are very high on the list as well of men who facilitate this. And the wealthy elites of some countries also do this as well, like very wealthy elites.
Probably, yeah. I don't think it's
To
just
be
Arab
honest
men,
with you,
and I don't.
I'm not against high-end prostitution, because let's be honest, if I was rich, I'd also be flying hoes. But dumb shitting on your face, man, that's a bit too much, man.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
you guys are cool with it, but just not the whole camels and feces part.
Yeah,
are you?
I don't want to. I'm not into degrading someone, but like, yeah,
Yeah.
paying for sex, man, that happens everywhere. Like the average man is paying for sex. Don't you think Bill Gates is paying? Let's be real, man. Don't you think Jeff Bezos is paying? They probably are. Bill Gates was found on the island, right? His name was found on the island, if I'm not mistaken. So they're all doing it.
I mean, I also gotta point out as well, with the fact that I've seen the video that African Millennial put up, where he also talked about them actually telling the women to perform bestiality, which is wow. Um, and then telling them to, have sexual intercourse with a 13-year-old. I mean, Lord have mercy, bro. I don't know what more to say.
Illegal.
I hope those women feel good about themselves having intercourse with a 13-year-old and, doing it with some animals.
I mean,
Yo, honestly, I think all of that 40K is going into antidepressant pills and so on, man.
Probably. How could you live with yourself knowing what you did?
Yo, Mo, I think they're buying 40K nooses out here now.
So Live in Wisdom saying it's illegal in Dubai to even have a woman that's not a relative or wife in your room. But the thing is, I feel like when you are literally a prince and royalty, like the laws don't apply to you. So for a commoner, of course, you're gonna get in trouble. But when you can literally pay the police, you can pay the judges, like you're not gonna get in trouble for doing anything. That happens over here too. Like the super elite here get away with everything. Like they commit murders, they go to court, they don't go to jail. So
Oh, you guys, you're from America, right? African millennial.
From Canada.
Oh, Canada.
So
In the
technically,
UK,
yes.
is a whole different ball game of the 1%. They play by different rules set, but hey, that's a different talk. But um, it's just
Yeah, but I mean, this is just normal behavior for any man who's rich. Like, I'm sure they all have islands where they fly in hoes and they do stuff with them. It's crazy the
oh,
amount of
of
like
course.
sexual depravity that goes on. Because even the
But I,
Jeffrey Epstein sex island and so on, those are minors,
but I,
right? And this
but
is
I'm
now
gonna ask
like
you a question.
another level. Like, bro,
Unless
I'm a normal human being. I think I'm a normal human being. I'll do the same thing. But for me, it will just be like normal sex, and then I'm done, and I fly them back out, and then I get back to my work. But this is on a whole different level, man.
exactly, now I mean bestiality and all of this. My God. But what I can say as well is right. It's the women's fault because they're accepting these contracts. They're the ones that are signing it. They're the ones that are flying over from their country all the way to Dubai to do these things. And then they have the audacity to complain afterwards and say that I want to take these men to court. Why are you going to take them to court? They've got the contracts backing them. They've got the law on their side. You're the one that signed it with your own free will. You don't have a right to complain. I don't
Yeah,
understand.
they willingly
And
took
even if they,
pictures with
wait,
these
Mo,
guys
can I
and
just ask,
videos.
how do they plan on suing these guys? What court are they using to sue these guys? Because aren't
I
these guys
think the court
located
of
in Dubai?
emotions. I think it might be the court of
Or is that
emotions.
social
That's how they
media?
work. Interesting, man. I mean, that's how they sue. But I mean, they've got no legal actions on their. They got no legal courts that are gonna be on their side because
Yeah,
everything
because
that they did.
that's one of the reasons why they created this hashtag is because some of them actually wanted advocacy on behalf of the TikTok and Instagram hashtag, but it's like you don't realize people are just resharing this and talking about it. Nobody's gonna do any legal action towards this.
I mean, I gotta ask you the question. Think about it this way, right? Why would you do it in the first place if you're going to complain afterwards? You know what's in the contract. You know exactly what they want. You've probably heard stories. So why would you do it? And then have the
Mo,
audacity to
that
complain
40K
afterwards.
ran out, man. That 40K ran out, and now
Probably. They spent it on
that
some 20
40K ran
gram
out,
bag.
but the memories didn't run out. The memories didn't run out though. The 40K did.
Probably. And they probably got two 20K bags. So now they want more money.
But then it because you guys remember in the video there was that one lady that said that she did this a couple of times. So I guess
Couple of
knowing how
times.
easy it is to get this money, it's kind of addicting. Because like once you touch like 30K in one day, it's like now you have to do it again and again and again.
I mean, she probably lacked intelligence. So she probably, I'm not excusing what she did, but she probably spent the money so fast. I mean, she probably spent the money faster than she got it, and then now she wanted more, and then she went up to other bunch of Abdullahis in Dubai, did the business with them, got more money, and then she spent it. It just shows the IQ of these men. She says she's 26, probably has an IQ of 3. That's what I gotta say. I mean, what kind of intelligence do you have to go there in the first? I mean, you made a good point. You're lucky to be alive. That's what I'm saying. They're lucky. They're lucky to be alive. African millennial, you made a good point. They're lucky because you're
I
going to.
really would like to know the psychological mindset of these people.
I mean, they go into a country where they have desires which again far stretch the line of sanity. Did they not comprehend that these people probably have other things in mind that can put you at risk, can actually endanger your life?
It's
But hey, I
happened
digress.
before. It's just
Wow.
advertised because nobody in Dubai is gonna admit to something like that, but I'm pretty sure it's happened before. And I'm pretty
Wow.
sure a lot of these princes are also not checking IDs. So, we know that underage women are doing this as well, and that's kind of sad as well.
And do you not comprehend that they're the ones that the women are the ones that are doing all of these tests to see if they have the diseases, but the men don't have to. So these Arab men can probably have everything under the sun. They have these these intercourses with them, and then those women end up having diseases that they don't know about. They don't think.
True.
What do you think, Abby, bro?
So Ruby Boy is saying the
Oh,
average
sorry, wait.
American makes
My
like
wait.
50K a
Sorry,
year.
my mic wasn't working. I just wanted to say, Mo, this is why I think we in the Horn of Africa need to come together and at least consolidate enough economic power to go and take out these Arabs, bro. These people, we can't be in the same neighborhood with these people, bro.
I
It's
know,
too much now.
bro. My country is literally in Djibouti. It's literally, and I mean literally, about 30 minutes
Bro,
on a
it's
bloody
actually
boat
a
ride.
disgrace. These people are the holders of Mecca and all these holy places, man.
Bro, Abby, you do know that literally you go on a tall building in Djibouti and you see the Arabian Peninsula. You get to see Aden and some of the countries in Yemen. The funny thing is, there's almost 100K Arab, what's it called? Arabs, I'll say, but about 60K Yemenis in Djibouti. So I don't know what kind of business they're probably getting up to there, but I mean, this woke me up. Let's just say that.
So Mrs. H
And you
is
know what's
saying
crazy
that
about it?
Abby said he
This is
has
like
Eastern
the
European you have Eastern European girls.
no. She's lying. I said I've been to the red light district and the Netherlands ones because I think they were talking about money on Kazel Stream about how much it costs for Kenyan chick for Kenyan prostitute and why these guys from the Europe and US are flying there. And I told them the number. I was like, yeah, it's like 150 for 30 minutes or something like that.
Damn.
150 euros for 30
That's
minutes at the red light district.
I
people
mean,
actually pay for that?
Oh, what do you
you
think?
see, African
It's one
Millennium,
of the most famous trips on it, man. That you don't know about it.
African Millennium. I mean, in the UK, they have people like this as well. These people that have zero game, they can't talk to women in the UK, so they do this. That's what I would say in the UK. I mean, but you can't blame these rich men. Of course, they're gonna do it. They've got the finances, and they've got all of the backing to do this. They can do it because they're powerful and they got the money. But it's the women's fault for accepting this dumbass deal. They're the ones that are going to these dangerous countries and doing whatever they're doing behind closed doors, and then having the audacity to complain afterwards. I will never understand. But yeah,
Mr. Africa, did you have something to say?
Yeah, hello guys. No, I was just listening to you guys and I was just laughing the whole day. I mean like the whole thing is just it's so funny to me, like someone willingly, going there and like getting paid for that. But honestly, I'm not surprised. And as far as I'm concerned, that was a fair transaction. He paid for it, she did the job, you know. And the other thing is like you know, people have this sick fantasies and whatever. There was this video I was watching the other day. It was about this guy. He put a dog collar on this girl, and there was this other girl. She was tied on the roll, and then they were having a dog fight. Literally, they were down on their knees, and then and they were all naked and shit. Like not completely naked, but partially. So I mean, but all these girls that want these shortcuts and whatnot. It's a fair game as you see. Go for it. Yeah, that's all.
I mean, Abby, you made a good point earlier. Let's march on them, bro. Why not? I mean, Axum did it.
Yeah, we have to, man. Honestly, if Ethiopia ever becomes like a relative military superpower, bro, we need to colonize Saudi Arabia again, man. We need to colonize the Middle East.
I
Bro,
mean,
these
the
guys,
Ethiopians did it before. The Habashas did it before. Why not?
yeah, bro, they're wasting that oil money. Bro, imagine being blessed with having 55% of the crude oil wealth in the world, of the crude oil
Bro, you
reserves in the
almost
world,
had the.
and you're wasting
The funny thing
and
is,
you're wasting it
the
like this. Oh my God, man.
bro, the funny thing is the Axumites, the Habashas are back then almost they had the Saudis for 100 years, bro. I looked at some of the things that they did, bro, like fucking enslavement and all of the shit that was going on, what you guys were doing to them. I mean, They probably have
No,
anger towards you,
but it
man.
was
I've seen some of the
150
museums.
years. But it was 150 years, but we didn't just go there. We were invited by the Christian population that was being persecuted there,
I mean, they have
allegedly.
museums of your old weapons, and
Allegedly.
yeah, they have some of your old weapons, and they have some of the stories and like some of the old armors that you guys had when you marched into them. Just
Yeah,
mad,
but I
actually.
mean, you have to understand that Yemen, especially what is considered Yemen today, or northern Yemen, and the Abyssinian Empire, pretty much have always had a close link. I mean, they even share like the Queen of Sheba stories pretty much across these two empires
Of
anyway.
course,
So
even punts, bro. Even punts were included. Yemen,
that's,
Somalia,
bro, that's even
Djibouti.
more reason to go and invade the Saudis, man. These guys are killing the Yemenis, bro.
Bro, the Yemenis would actually
You
help.
know what
That's the
we'll
funny
do?
thing.
Yeah, you know what we'll do? We'll go help the Yemeni, and then we'll leave them in charge of the Arabian Peninsula. You know
Do
how
you not see,
Europeans
bro? A
leave
friend
like,
of mine.
you know how Europeans leave a certain population in charge of the whole population to do their dirty work for them? We'll leave the
Bro,
Yemenis to do that.
a Yemeni friend of mine sent me a video of him burning the Saudi flag, bro. They don't like them. Let's just say that. Trust me, they would help. I mean, it's crazy, man. But yeah, what I can say is like they do this in Saudi, Saudi. They do this in Dubai. They do this in what's it called, the UAE. They yeah, basically all of the UAE. Let's just say that they do this in Saudi as well. They do it in some of the Gulf countries that are rich, like Qatar, Qatar. They do that in like I mean, it's not just one country. I would say all of
Yo,
them.
but Mo, this is what I don't get. How are these guys doing this in private, but in public have the audacity to carry out laws that literally get you beheaded and stuff for even the minor sexual crimes? Like you're not even allowed to go to the beach and show like your knees or something. That's
They
crazy,
do
man.
this, bro. They do this is because again they're above the law. They're above the law that they created. They're above the Sharia that they created. They're above basically the. They probably pay the cost. They probably have friends in high places. They can get away with everything they want. They have a system. They have powerful friends and families. They can get away with it, whatever the heck they want. So they can do it. They've got the power to. Um. So what I don't understand is when people say that, how can they get away? They can get away with it because they've got powerful friends. When you are rich enough, let's just say when you are making your millions, when you're in that 1% in that country, you can get away with a lot of things. You make the right friends, you get the right connections, you've got the power to basically you could play everyone like chess. Let's just put it at that. And the
True.
funny thing is they have outside help as well. So, you know, I mean think about it this way, right? Why is it that America's good friends with Saudi? Because Saudi is helping them get whatever they want. So basically oil and plus other commodities. And you have to look at America. America is not a country full of oil. So basically, Saudis tell them, you know what, I want you to help me destroy my enemies and we'll give you oil. I.e., like Yemen, i.e., like some of the Horn countries. Horn countries starting to become a problem. Look at the 70s and the 80s. Look at the Horn countries and how they're developing. King Saud did not like that. King Faisal did not like that. So we were starting to become a threat. So he turned tribe against tribe because he knows that the Horn is just as tribal as the Arabian Peninsula. I mean, think about it this way, right? If we went to Saudi, the what's it called, the Kingdom of Saudi, and turn two of the biggest tribes against each other, it's gonna be civil war. Of course, they understand all of this is all politics. I mean, look at what's it called, Sudan, how they turned basically the Sudanese that of some of the ethnic tribes that have Arab descent against the others. They played them like instruments. I mean, I have Sudani friends that who's in Djibouti, who's in my country, telling me these stories. I mean, I've went to Sudan before. I've talked to them. I mean, there was no ethnic tension before, and they made ethnic tension. And the dictator that was in charge of that country was again funded by King Saud. It's all chess, bro. They're playing us like chess. Look at even North Africa. Who's the one that turned Morocco and Algeria against each other? Come on.
Yeah, true. But you know what I've noticed now that I've been in Ethiopia for like a week or two? Like a lot of the mosques and stuff here are funded by the Saudis as well. Like the newer mosques. And these are like grand mosques, bro. Like, and I heard that they've been doing this all over Africa pretty much. And
Bro,
they're not just funding mosques, they're funding like the most extreme versions of their teachings. too. So that's going to be problem source in the
Bro,
future.
they have the horn by the balls. Like they have the horn of Africa by the absolute balls. I mean, already Djibouti and Somalia is part of the Arab League, so they pretty much answer to the Arab League. They have to be loyal to the Arab League. Djibouti, I know for sure, is loyal to the Arab League. I mean, because again, think about it this way, right? Djibouti's in ties with Egypt, and you've seen the Egypt and the Ethiopia problem over the dam, right? In a heartbeat, Djibouti would turn his missiles against Ethiopia because Egypt and Djibouti are friends,
Yeah,
so they
yeah,
will
yeah.
help each other. Djibouti would work with Egypt 100%. They answer to the Gulf countries 100%, 150%. I know that for sure. It's my country. I know that for sure.
Eritrea also an observer nation in the Arab League.
Yeah, Eritrea is an observer. So what's it called? Eritrea pretty much is in and out. Let's just say that Ethiopia is the only thing standing in between total domination of the Horn from the Arabs. And now look what's happening with Ethiopia with the TPLF. Those bastards, bro. Look what they're doing. It's crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah, true.
So we're gonna let
those guys are gonna go away anyway.
They already have Somalia and Djibouti answering to them. Eritrea is in and out, pretty much yes.
Yeah.
Ethiopia is the only one standing.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think eventually Ethiopia might also join the Arab League, but not this Arab League.
Oh, it will. It will.
I have a problem with Ethiopia joining the Arab League. I just don't want it to be like an American-controlled Arab League, because that's what it really is.
Oh, bro, if you join the Arab League, you're answering to King Saud, 100%. Oh, the guy MBS, you're answering to MBS. You're answering to him. 100%. If you join the Arab League, you're his
Gaddafi
bitch.
was right when he called the Arab League. And remember, Gaddafi is right. Is proven more right every day when he called the Arab League
exactly
a collection of drunkards, coke addicts, and American puppets.
And not a single African leader had the stones to help him when he made an enemy of the Arabs. Gaddafi literally made an enemy out of the Arabs, bro, and everyone was gunning for him.
Bro, I think Gaddafi was too honest for his own good, man. Like, this guy was really, even back then, was trying to expose what these Arabs are doing behind closed doors, bro.
I mean, just recently, bro, what was it called? The president of Djibouti and Egypt met. I don't know why they met. What are they discussing? Are they saying it's about the dam in Ethiopia? What are they planning? It's just too many shady shit, bro.
Yeah. Stephen, did you have anything to add to the conversation?
Hello, African Millennial. How you doing? It's been a while.
Yeah, long time no see.
I just wanted to just get into the conversation about this potty thing that goes down in the Middle East. I think, and I'm sorry for that. Maybe I just jumped in a little into the conversation a little bit late. So yeah. So how I feel is about this thing has been going on from time. Even I remember back home in Nigeria, whereby a lot of people would travel to Dubai because Dubai was portrayed as this beautiful, exotic place whereby all people can just go and just have a flaunt their money. So ever since then, because a lot of girls who are living to this place are just desperate because they just feel that these origin have a lot of money and they have a lot to offer. Because I was watching a Nigerian like street video, it's called Legit TV. You should check it out on YouTube. Whereby folks like Nigerians who have been traveling to the Sahara, going to Europe or all these Arab nation by foot, how they were narrating their stories of them being used, betrayed. Some I even met somebody who buried his children and his wife in the desert, which was just traumatizing. A lot of younger that in order for them to get to even pass to European nation, they have to sleep with animals, eat shit and all that kind of nasty thing that they will even never even consider doing in their own country. But the fact of economic desperation, they have to like go to places whereby they assume that there's greener pasture. Do I feel sorry for them? Yes and no at the same time, because a lot of people have heard of stories about people going there, but yet they will still go and want to go and like experience because they feel that life is a lot more better in those areas.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just unfortunate. And into the conversation when Mo Solomon was talking about the Arabs, I think the Arabs have already done doesn't for the most part. Maybe they've just been doing it quietly. Like I just watched something else that Morocco is just recently doing trade partners with the AU, but before that they were trying to like establish relations with European nations in terms of trade and all that kind of stuff. So and that's more of a North African thing because of their close proximity to Southern Europe and the Middle East. So I guess so. Maybe this recent turning tide of doing trade with the African continent is maybe because they got their Arab wake up call that no matter how close they'll ever be to Europeans, Europeans will never see them as equal as they were.
Good point, Stephen.
That's a really good.
Yeah,
They got
you
their
made
wake up call.
I mean, that's actually a good point with Morocco. But some certain countries in Africa, are part of the Arab League answer to the Saudis. So there's a lot of, interpolitics and a lot of, stuff going on behind the backgrounds that no one knows about. It's just too many crazy stuff. I.e., I mean, you're gonna have to look at certain examples, like what countries are part of the Arab League. Of course, they're gonna be loyal to the Arab League over the African League because they can't just answer to two, and they're gonna answer to which one has more power.
Yeah, obviously. That's just what it's just human nature because they just feel that the Arabs just have more there. I don't want to sound very bad, but they'll say the Arabs have more sophistication in their leadership in how they run things. There's a lot of sophistication there. You know, the Arabs are just a lot more, and they are just a lot more out there because they are globally known for their wealth. Like if you look at the billionaires of the families of the Saudi Arabian dynasty, there are some certain things that the West can't do to us, but they can do to the African continent, but they can't really do anything much to the Arabs, even though the Arabs are beneath Caucasians.
Pretty much. I mean, that's the best way to put it, man. That's the best way to put it. They already have like 3 out of the 4 countries in the Horn answering to them, pretty much. They have most of the North African countries answering to them.
Okay.
I mean, so it's crazy. They have Sudan answering to them. They have like basically, yeah, Mauritania as well. They have
So basically, God forbid, let's say 50 years down the line, the Arabs decide they want to invade the Horners now. There is no basically way in hell that you guys, the local folks, are prepared enough for some type of foreign invasion. How are they going
Stephen.
to?
What I can say, with all honesty, is even though what I can say in the Horn of Africa, some countries like Djibouti, have modern military. They're strong. They have, a decent structure. What I can say is they can defend themselves from other nations, especially with all the modern trades they've been doing with, the bases in the country. What I can say is gladly in the Horn of, like, I won't say gladly. What I can say truthfully is like, Djibouti and Somalia already pretty much answer to Saudis. What I can say as well is Eritrea can also answer it because it's also an observer state of the Arab League. It pretty much here and there answers to it too. Ethiopia was a few years ago there was a skirmish between the Ethiopians and basically the Habashas and the Saudis, where the Saudis, I think, or the UAE might have wanted access to Ethiopia to build some mosques, and the Ethiopian president said, we were Muslims before most Arabs were, which is correct. And he goes, we don't need your help. And I think Ethiopia, again, because Ethiopia is facing a lot of enemies. They're facing the Gulf states. They're facing Egypt, Sudan as well with border skirmishes. They're facing a lot of things. And if Ethiopia collapses, they already have the north pretty much locked, and now they're going to have the Horn and the northeast, basically.
Wow. So basically, Ethiopia is the only nation that is keeping the entire region together.
Pretty much. What I can say truthfully.
Yeah, I mean, that's the price you pay for not being a conquered nation. I mean, Ethiopians take pride of their country never being conquered. So, of course, they're going to have a lot of enemies. So, things are going to be because a lot of people are still not feeling the fact that an African nation was able to defeat a European colonial power. A lot of people are not feeling that kind of stuff.
No, a lot of countries, the Horn of Africans, a lot of countries, like especially in the Horn of Africa, they defeated a lot of European nations. The history goes back. You can look at the history of the Horners. Like they defeated a lot of
Okay.
people.
Then
But
somebody will now ask then, okay, and as someone that since you're Somali, eh?
yeah,
Okay. If that's the case, then why was Somalia colonized by 3 times by 3 different nations? The
okay.
French.
So again, they couldn't just because the Somalis were never one specific nation. They all had their own specific. Each tribe had their own each part of their land. They never really fully united. All the tribes never came under one banner. And what happened was, again, it took basically three defying forces to isolate the Somalis and because again, no other African country had three superpowers coming at them. And basically, for again, less than 20 million people had three superpowers coming at them with most of their weaponry. So, in that aspect, if you look at it from that way, they try to stop the Somali expansion in a way. And I mean, history tells it. I mean, you have to look at certain other African countries. The only other country that because Ethiopia, as long like even though you should be proud they never got conquered, he was only fighting one superpower. He never had if he had the Italians, the British, and the French all coming at him, he would have
Yeah,
most likely crumbled.
yeah, most likely this thing. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you're right on that. Yeah, on that aspect. So maybe I didn't see it from that angle.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I didn't really see it from that angle. So yeah, so yeah.
You have to look at Djibouti where I'm from. Like the French are pricks basically. They are the worst type of people to be under basically, or to serve. And yeah, you can only tell what happened and how they tried to use certain ethnic groups against each other. What
Yeah, I
happened is
guess so. Yeah,
with certain because there's also in Djibouti is a lot of mixture, right? But the
yeah.
majority being the Somalis. There's the Somalis, there's the Arabs, there's the Afars, and there's like other minorities as well, right? And what happened is when the Somalis kicked the French out, they tried to use the Arabs and the Afars to take over and to basically pretty much answer to the French, and the Somalis wouldn't let that happen. So there's a lot of history involved as well. So yeah,
That's actually interesting. And also, yeah, and those basically, yeah, I mean, the Arabs do, but from my experience, I don't really, I mean, they are cool Arabs that I met, but at the very same time, I'm cautious being around them because anything can just happen with them. They cannot be buddy buddy with you. The moment you cross a certain boundary, then they're just like them, I guess. Like, yeah, but
Arabs seem to be more on the violent side.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said they seem to be on the violent.
Oh no. I would actually deny that because look at history. Look at how the Axumites, the Habashas, went into basically the Arabian Peninsula and 150 years conquered them. Like they literally went into their land and their territory and they conquered them. They literally have stories and they have some of the weapons and some of the stuff left behind. They have it in museums. They show it to people. And how again? Because if you look at look at Yemeni DNA tests. This is going to be shocking, right? Look at the Yemeni DNA test. Most of the ones that you look at least have 20% Ethiopian DNA. Why is that?
Because of the slavery?
Yep. The slavery that the Ethiopians did to the Yemenis.
Oh.
Wow. That's this thing.
Yemen is a dump.
Huh?
Well, Yemen is a dump.
Yeah,
no,
Yemen, I see Yemen as a Muslim. Yemen is just basically seen as a dumping ground of the Arab world. Unless I was watching this homie, what's his name? Drew Brisky. You've heard of him, guys. He's like a travel blogger. Until he went to Oh, you've heard of him, Drew Brisky? That Jewish guy?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so he goes to all the countries, right? So he has a lot of preference for Muslim nations. So it was actually through him I was actually seeing like all these Arab nations and all that, and they're actually very beautiful countries. So when he went to Yemen, there were some nice places that I was actually surprised because again, Western media and propaganda, they like portraying, and that's how powerful media is. Western media is very powerful.